Góðan daginn, welcome to my podcast vlog type of thing. Wait. I can't remember how to start. hang on. Okay, if you can hear my neighbor's kids, it's like 20 minutes to 1 on Sunday. It is August 24th. And it is a delightfully overcast day. It's so nice. But introduction first. Góðan daginn. My name is Guldur. I am an Iceland living in Iceland, and this is my podcast vlog type of thing where I talk mainly about yarn, about knitting, crocheting, anything fiber related, because goodness gracious, the things that people do, and when other people discover what those other people are doing, it's just it's called a project pile because I have projects. They are in piles, and I just keep adding to them. I do also talk about the weather, like I just did now, because I always have something to talk about then, and it is always interesting to know what the weather is like. And because, again, I am an Icelander, I am very proud of my country. I do also like to mention whenever my country decides that now is the time to be active. By that I mean geologically active. Currently there is a minor, I think they call it minor, but of course there's always like the police and proper authorities who have to come up and be like, hey ho, don't get too close to active areas. So right now there is a glacier run in a river called Hvítá, which means White River, in Breiðafjörður, which is that would be the western one. We do have two Breiðafjörður in Iceland. Borgarfjörður. Sorry, no, it's Breiðafjörður. Yeah, Hvítá Breiðafjörður. Borgarfjörður. Right. Borgarfjörður. Borgarfjörður Vestri, the western one. There is another Borgarfjörður that is just to the north of me, where I am directly now. Absolutely lovely place. Way smaller. The western one is west. Goddamn, what kind of mood am I in? A good one. And yeah, so a glacier run means that, well, basically a glacier is this big hunk of ice and hard snow, and it usually stays for decades, centuries, maybe millennia. I mean, most glaciers aren't very, very, very terribly old, like on a geological scale. For humans, old planet Earth. What was that? So when glaciers melt, right, that's an ice melt. And when that happens, a very convenient river goes from being reasonable to, and I think it's, I haven't seen pictures actually. I don't think it's like terrible, but we are in the summer season and there are tourists, and not all of them are unfortunately sensible. So unfortunately they're oh huh. So the first article I'm seeing on this news site is people within the runner tangent. But yesterday there was the Reykjavik Marathon that is hosted by Íslandsbanki, which is one of the major banks here in Iceland, and apparently people within the running community were not happy with it. Oh, we're getting the remains of Hurricane Erin tomorrow. So that's Mm-mm-mm. I'm trying to find something about this glacier run. I thought that would be on the front here because it's been okay. Excuse me. I really hope I'm not coming down with anything because I don't have time for that. This is weird. Hmm. Okay. Look at that. Yeah, it's yeah. Even more fun. Listen. Okay, so the the glacier run is from a lagoon called Hafrafellslón that is to the west of Langjökull, which is one of the very noticeable glaciers when you look at a map of Iceland. It goes into a river called Svartá, which means Black River. That then leads to Hvítá, which means White River, in Borgarfirði. So going from the Black River to the White River. I love this. I love this country. Yeah, stable. It's about that's a word. Like water height is about 300 centimeters. So that's about 3 meters. Yeah. I don't know what that is in inches and feet. I mean, 6 feet 6 inches is 2 meters. So I really want to go the easy route and say it's about 9 feet. I don't know. Anyway, that was interlude. So yeah, weather in Iceland has been ridiculously nice. So I didn't post last weekend because I was pretty much unconscious in my bed, unable to move because it was too warm for my fragile little self. And I'm like, goodness. I kind of like that I was able to sleep, but at the same time, I was gonna do stuff, do things. And didn't. Just didn't. And it was almost the same thing yesterday, Saturday, in the eastern part here in Iceland, because I live in the eastern fjords. I think we got like definitely over 18 degrees where I am, and that was a little on the cooler side. We even got winds that really helped to cool down. But like, I was warm. Like, considering we are at the reaching the end of August, I'm in Iceland. We are this close to the Arctic Circle. All things considered, yeah, very, very nice. It was really sunny and bright and lovely yesterday. I did manage to do a lot of laundry, so I'm happy with that. And then I crawled into bed around 9 in the evening because I just could not resist anymore. I'm like, I want to sleep. It's just when the weather is too nice, I want to sleep. So now the weather is fine. I think I'm watching a little bit of like misty rain over there. I can actually see blue sky. Otherwise, it's this lovely overcast. It just feels nice. It looks nice. It feels nice. I might actually go for a walk. Also because it's not windy. I'm like, I really don't like going for a walk when it's windy on my free day. I'm like, no. But yeah, I still haven't done a stitch on my cocoon cardigan. I don't know when I'm gonna finish this. I'm like, but because it's gonna look so much nicer when excuse you, when I get the ribbing done. Like, it looks, honestly, it looks really nice right now. I'm so proud of it. I am ridiculously proud of it. And also, pink. But yeah, I just need to do the ribbing and then it's done. And at the same time, I'm like, too lazy. I am so lazy, considering all the hobbies that I have. Knitting, crocheting, painting, writing. I do that every day, and that's literally because I have an access on a webpage where I score points and I fight little monsters, and I do that by writing words, and I'm like, that works. I haven't really read half of the books that I was gonna read, and I haven't played The Sims. Like, what is... But it's not gonna come with the onset of autumn. I know it is going to be sleeping less. This is basically my luxury problem. I've been having so much nice sleep. And I do live by the philosophy that I refuse to regret. I will not regret. So I refuse to regret having slept, because I absolutely am benefiting from it now. I am in such a nice place. But yeah, I refuse to regret. So... Oh, there was something else. Yeah. Talking about Reykjavik, which we are now. So yesterday, more than just that marathon that the core audience of were not happy with. I'm sorry, this is a little too warm. I'm in Iceland, this is warm. There was Menningarnótt. I would have loved to go. So Menningarnótt is like culture night in Reykjavik, which is one of the good things that Reykjavik does do. So to be upfront, I am like a lot of other, people who live in our own countries outside the capital, and like a lot of other nations, really love riffing on our capital. We will critique. Hello. We will critique. We will put it down. We will be negative Nancy's and, But I would not want to have any other capital with all its flaws, and because there are flaws, of course there are. I would still not want to have any other capital. Like, okay, I tell a lie. If ever the capital would be moved from like Reykjavik to Akureyri, which is to the north, I don't think I would care too much. It would just be like an interesting historical fact to put down in history books and for people, down the road to learn about. On the grand scheme of things, however, if we were told that now, like, Copenhagen would be our capital again, I would be like, no. Or, I don't know, let's go out there, London. No. No. Reykjavik is not perfect. No shit is. But yeah, just to be upfront, I am one of those who will be like, but don't you dare talk bad about my capital, because it's my target. I'm sure. I am absolutely certain that other nations also do the same thing. Like, I am convinced that people in Aarhus in Denmark will be riffing on Copenhagen. I am convinced that people up in Bergen are riffing on Oslo. I had to think. Right? I am convinced. But yeah, so long story short, they had culture night yesterday, and there's always this long concert, open concert, that is televised. And goodness gracious, the first song. I am not a snob when it comes to yarn, when it comes to books. I don't feel like I am not a snob when it comes to music. But I have my limits. And the first artist, because that was definitely some sort of art. My line I have found, and I really discovered that last night. My line is that I have a hard time accepting as I'm trying to be nice. I know I don't need to, but I'm really, really trying to articulate what I'm feeling without absolutely putting down this artist, because I do recognize that this is art. But it's not popular music, and yeah, that's okay. Fun distinction. It is art, but it's not popular music. And the thing about the open concert on Meninganot is, I feel like it kind of needs to be popular music, because that was definitely later. But my line is absolutely when the artist is like, she can sing. She has a very lovely singing voice, and I couldn't really hear the text, mainly because it was a very long song, and she started crying hysterically. And at one point, like my 8-year-old mother put it rather succinctly, it kind of sounded like she was torturing a cat. Which, thankfully, I have never heard. But that is pretty much what I would imagine that terrible song to be like. And I really hate that I'm being negative about an artist, but I cannot appreciate that. There were definitely more popular music and musicians afterwards, like the Vibe Brothers. They represented Iceland in the last Eurovision, and yeah, that was way more fun. And also there were very clearly a lot more people by that time. The opening act wasn't terribly popular. Oh god. But yeah. So yeah, the last event on Meninganot is this big concert that is open air, and they finish everything with a big fireworks. I didn't see it because I was at bed after 9. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm going to bed. And my mother fell asleep, and she missed the fireworks. She was waiting for them. I'm like, dang. But the thing that I'd like to be in Reykjavik and the probably around Keflavik as well, is because on Meninganot there are so many museums and exhibits that are open. I'm like, I would love to go to some of them. Though that, yeah, I would have loved that. But unfortunately, I was in the East and just doing my own thing. And yeah. Oh, and I still haven't really heard anything concrete about when the next night is gonna be. I would love to get some, what's the word? Yeah, something concrete about it. We do know that the current owners of the coffee shop that we used to go to, that unfortunately isn't nearly as popular as it was with the former owner. They aren't too excited about it, which is understandable. And the other hotel, it's not very concrete with the opening time, so that's probably not going to happen too often. But I did hear that someone was going to go and have a chat with the hotel owners of the other hotel that we have been to previously, and it was really, really nice going there. And they've been positive before, so hopefully that will stay that way, and we will be able to resume our club activities. And that would be extra nice because then I would also have some time to decompress after the working day with people around and just chill around other people. And, you know, get a little bit more driven to finish my things. But still, life is really, really good. All things considered, like, there are some things in my family that aren't, too good, but still at the same time, there are always positive news. Really don't want to go into that because it's not my thing to be sharing. Maybe later, we'll see. But right now, things are going well, and there haven't been any well, bad news, yes, but also hopeful news. So we will see. We will see. It's nothing to be worried about. It's just life. And jumping to a completely different topic. Did you know? Did I tell you? August the 8th is the International Day for Cats. That's the International Cat Day. I think I told you. I can't remember. So, unfortunately, I don't have a cat. But there are cats in my neighborhood, and I adore cats. And I'm happy that there is a National Day for them. But there's also a National Day for Dogs. And that's on August 26th. That's on Tuesday. So, if you have dogs, or you just love dogs, or someone in your family or your neighborhood has dogs, maybe show them a little extra love. Like, dogs, I swear, not every dog. Dogs are just like any other living thing. They all have their personalities and their experiences and their expressions of their experiences. But for the most part, dogs are such sweethearts. They are so sweet. Some of them are a little bit too much, but for the most part, my experience, dogs have been very, very sweet and adorable little furry idiots. Just like cats. It's a little bit different, but adorable furry idiots. Like, I love them. So, again, if you do have your own dogs or family has anything, 26th of August. And actually, I bought this book. It's a poetry book because I need to read more poetry, like both in Icelandic and English. I would go Danish, but my Danish has been terrible. Okay, so this is a collection of dog poems by very, very different authors, poets. Like, we got Sir Walter Raleigh, Elizabeth Browning. There are also quotes from Shakespeare's, like Macbeth, and what was the other one? What was it? The Two Gentlemen of Verona. There is, a lot of people. And I finished this book and I'm conflicted. Like, poetry is one thing. So there were very, very different types of poems in this book, which was nice. That's a very good thing to have in a collection. I just wish that more of these poems were actually about dogs. Like, there were a few that were just these very, very sweet and honest, basically eulogies from an owner to a dog that has passed away. And then there's others where basically there's a single mention of a dog that doesn't even touch on the narrative as a whole. It's just like, oh yeah, like a dog in a trash can or something like that. And actually, this one is actually funny. It's by T.S. Eliot, of the powerful battle of the peaks and the polycules. This one was funny. I think peaks are Peking pygmies, like those Chinese dogs. Polycules. Yeah, it's pugs and Pomeranian Poms. I'm thinking pugs are like, pugs. Poms, that might be Pomeranians. They are really either or, I don't know. But basically, this is a rather hilarious poem about this barking war between these two gangs of dogs, the pugs and the poms. The big police dog who is away from his beat. So he isn't there to stop those two gangs of dogs from barking and raising their bark battle. It's all stopped. Like, this is the poem, right? It's a very lovely long poem. It's all stopped by a great rumpus cat. And as a cat lover, I absolutely adore that. You have these, just imagine it, like these groups of pugs and poms that I'm imagining as Pomeranian, just barking, making an absolute ruckus. And then from this, like, downstairs window, like basement window or something, I can't remember what it was, there's this big street cat being like, and it literally doesn't do anything. It just comes out, yawns, and the dogs are like, no. I described the poem terribly, but T.S. Eliot. I really like that one. Yeah, he literally just looks around. Yeah. He yawns. He looks around. He jumps up. Yeah, probably up on a wall, and the dogs just scatter. And the police dog comes back. It's like, oh yeah, well, nothing but peace and quiet here. Because I just picture the police dog. Either it's a German Shepherd, which, no, that doesn't quite fit. No, that would probably be more like a bloodhound type of dog, wouldn't it? Like this. Yeah. Bay. What's it called? Bay dog? Oh, you can definitely hear them. I can definitely picture the type of walk that they have. But yeah. I like that poem. That was definitely about dogs. But there were poems in this book that were not about dogs. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have this very easy fixation that when I buy a book called dog poems, I expect the poems to be about dogs. Because I have a very strong suspicion, I haven't been able to find it, but I did buy, I think last year or the year before that, I own a very lovely book that is pretty much the same as this, but it's cat poems. And the covers, I do recall that the cover is like this same creamy type of color with a black silhouette and a golden lettering. But I really feel like the poems there were more about cats than this book had poems about dogs. I'm like, I'm a little box. Just, when I ask for dog poems, I want dog poems. I'm a box. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more to. Oh! Half an hour right there. That's funny. So I've been rambling for half an hour about practically nothing. I've been listening to the kids playing. There's either an airplane. That's probably an airplane. With a sound echoing between mountains because... Well, it might actually be one of the little boats. Anyway, I am getting distracted by life around me. And yeah. So I'm gonna call it now. And hopefully we don't get too nice weather next weekend, so I don't hibernate in my bed because it's too warm, because I can't handle 20 degrees Celsius. Like, literally, I was listening to the news just before I sat down to film. Spain had the record temperatures of over 40, and I'm over here being like, oh, 20 is too warm. Like, what? What? But yeah, so gonna call it here now. Hopefully, like I said, I will finish this. Either that or just admit defeat and just not do the ripping. Like, it is nice. It's really nice. I'm very happy with this yarn too. This mega ball from Hobby. That was a good purchase. And the fact that I also have... You know what I could do? I could make another one, because I have an entire extra ball of the same yarn. I could make another one and put ribbing on that. And I would have two versions. And I would use the yarn. It would be useful. You know what? I might do that. That would solve my little procrastination brain. I'm adding to the pile. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will hopefully, fingers crossed, be here again next weekend and not take the weekend off or something. Like, goodness gracious. But yeah, I will hopefully see you again next weekend. We will see. We will see if I actually get started on the second one and just... Like, I haven't even woven in the ends. We'll see if I'll just start another one and fulfill my obsession with it. And yeah, we'll see where we're at then. Until then, take care, and I will hopefully see you again next weekend. And yeah, bless.